Welcome back to the Dream Nations Cup at the American Dream Mall, presented by Harney & Sons Fine Tea. My name is Will Wiggleman. I'll be taking you through this women's round robin matchup between Lebanon and the Caribbean. The Caribbean with a resounding 9-1 victory over Netherlands yesterday, exacting some form of revenge against what is a shorthanded and very different Netherlands team than the one that defeated the Caribbean in the final of last year's Dream Nations Cup to take the women's division. Meanwhile, Lebanon, after an extremely gritty third period in which they came back from a 4-0 deficit, ended up with a 4-4 tie against Egypt, thanks to the game-tying goal, a hat-trick goal scored by Anya Hafiz, their captain, with 9.3 seconds left on the clock. Caribbean tops in the women's division, at least coming into the day. Lebanon came into the day fourth in the women's division with 1 point, and Caribbean with 2 points. Of course, we did just see Puerto Rico defeat the Netherlands by a wide margin. Puerto Rico now 2-0, Netherlands 0-2. Now, Caribbean will need a victory to try and keep pace with the Puerto Ricans at the top of the women's division. We will pause for both sides' national anthems. And those are your anthems this afternoon, ahead of this game between Lebanon and the Caribbean. Second game for each side in this women's round robin. Heading into the goal crease for the Caribbean is Juliana Rogers, wearing number 50. She got the victory yesterday against the Netherlands, making 11 saves in the win. Meanwhile, on the other side, the only netminder on the Lebanon roster, Megan Dowd, who gave up 4 goals but earned the tie and helped Lebanon stay in the game late so that they could pull back even and steal a point from Team Egypt. So can Lebanon tighten things up near the top of the women's division, or will the Caribbean stay with Team Puerto Rico? Lebanon trying to figure out who's going to start the game. And now we have 5 out for both sides. It will be Emma Demand taking the opening faceoff for Caribbean, drawing against Megan Vitrano, and we are underway. Eunice able to move it forward, and now on the stick of Daniel for Lebanon. Vitrano tried to move it back towards Daniel. That didn't work. Amelia Leonard, number 9 for Caribbean, rimmed it up the wall. Good pinch at the line, kept it in, and a glove save by Rogers on the attempt from Elizabeth Abragian. Caribbean able to win this face-off back. It's Amelia Leonard moving it up the near side boards. Up comes Demand into the offensive zone. Demand turns the corner, gets a rising shot that goes over top of the cage. 3 Lebanese players surrounding 1 Caribbean player. It's sent down low by Kimberly Remcharan. She heads off for a change. Meanwhile, Lebanon looking for an escape of their zone. Vitrano able to dump it in, and now she'll get a change herself. Hafiz in deep, looking for that puck in on the forecheck. Hafiz, a hat trick against Egypt last night, including the game-tying goal with 9.3 seconds. Also added an assist in that game. Puck worked out by Caribbean. Trepanier up towards Bearcat Redsill. Now Yamin up towards Yafiz. That was out of her reach. Pass was in her skates. Marina McCann all the way up the right wing side to Charlton. Flying in, tried to dangle move, got it back, centering feed, and pushed just wide by Wozniak. Now a shot in front, they score! Caribbean strikes first early on. May have been Charlton who got that last touch. Once again, Lebanon falls behind. We'll let you know exactly who scored the goal when we find out, but right now it looks like it was Charlton as play resumes. Pass sent up off the stick of Gambino. Francesca Gambino gets it right back. Couple players collide away from the puck. Well, Gambino bumps it in. Dumped in again by Danielson. Now it's Myers in the corner. Taken away by Lebanon. Rimmed up the far side. Demand lets it go through to the point. Long shot deflected on the way through. Ends up in the near side corner. I guess Salem battling for it for Lebanon. Comes up the near side wall. Kept in at the line by Wilson. D-to-D pass, another shot. That one also changed direction on the way through. Now Wilson, a shot right on, and it's swallowed up by Dowd for a whistle and a face-off. Off this draw, Lebanon trying to get out of its own end. McCann centering feed. That one poked away by Layla Trepanier. Leonard spins back, feeds it over to the near side wing. Cross-ice pass on the stick of Remcharan. She goes all the way around the net. She loses her balance, tripped up. And with Lebanon touching up the puck, we will get our first penalty of the game. Caribbean with a 1-0 lead, heading to the power play. And it looks like it's Layla Trepanier heading to the box. Caribbean with a chance to add to this 1-0 lead. Off the face-off though, Lebanon gets it to Name. She's harassed by Charlton, the Caribbean goal scorer. Now Caribbean gets the set up. Charlton looking out high, and that one escaped a couple of her teammates. That's as good as a Lebanon clear. And on the forecheck is Yamin shorthanded. Caribbean able to work it out. Wozniak moved it up. Charlton towards Wozniak. That didn't work. And now Name working the other direction. Shorthanded chance here for Lebanon. That shot blocked on the way through. Charlton couldn't step around with the puck. Following it up is Wozniak. On the left wing side, couldn't put it out in front. Comes all the way to the line, not out. That shot whistles just wide off the stick of Augusta Miley. This one turned in the direction of Yamin. She kept it from getting out of the zone though. She tried to bring it in. Finally cleared down, 49 seconds left in the Caribbean power play. Moved up. Remcharan into the offensive zone. Throws on the brakes on the half wall. Pass out, stymied. Ruddy at the point, walking the blue line. Tried to lean towards the net, but she hit Vetrano on the pass. Back in comes the Caribbean. Quick shot, that one blocked down just as the penalty expires for Lebanon. This one sent all the way down ice, but since we're back to 5-on-5, that is icing against Lebanon. We will get a face-off all the way back in the Lebanon end. 9:01 left to go in period one. And Caitlin Charlton, a 19-year-old, with the only goal of the game so far for Caribbean. She had 2 yesterday in the win over Netherlands. Charlton slated to play NCAA Division I hockey at the University of Delaware this upcoming season. And that is a great thing to see for a Caribbean program trying to continue to build to have a player going NCAA Division I, playing the highest level of women's collegiate hockey in North America. Of course, this Caribbean team, second place last year, as Dowd able to fight off a shot. Couldn't cover up though. Pass back out in front, battled for it. Backhander saved by a stickless Dowd. Comes back to the line. That one pinballs off a couple of players. And Dowd able to cover up. Caribbean say that they're focused on these high-level players as far as developing talent. Those NCAA Division I and rising stars type of players included. And again, Caitlin Charlton, a big part of that. And if you follow Caribbean women's hockey, you'll certainly hear a lot of her name moving forward in the upcoming years as this program continues to grow. As Hafiz knocked down right on top of the puck. She's back to her skates trying to scoop it up. Instead, it's Yamin that takes over. Her drop pass stolen by Leonard. Worked back down behind the Caribbean net. Wilson the first one there. He looks up the near side boards for an outlet pass. Now skating back behind her own cage is Wozniak. Wozniak couldn't get out of the zone where they could play by Yamin to get back deep. Caribbean still trying to get out of its own end here. And they finally will. Before it's turned over to Daniel. Now Caribbean back on it. Charlton has her shot blocked. And that one sent right through the crease by Wozniak. Fresh off the bench, it's Stephanie Zabaliuskis. Long lead pass off of Daniel's stick. McCann turns it the other way. McCann working in. Gets to the slot, goes to the outside, and her shot blocked. McCann to the net. That one knocked behind the cage by Eunice. Query back on it. One-time blast. Stopped by Dowd. Another shot comes in. And Dowd able to handle that one. Caribbean all over Lebanon early in this one. Still just a 1-0 game. But the shots right now, as they're posted up on the big board, 7-1. Caribbean looking for more. That shot fanned on. Still able to get it deep though. Unable to put one on goal there was the Caribbean side. That was Demand, who had a chance from the slot, but she was tied up at the last moment. Tossed right back in by McCann. Darwish for Lebanon, taken in by Aguirre. Those two both go down. From her knees, Aguirre able to play it. Instead, it's Name working up the right wing side. Puck in Caribbean territory. Try and work it out. Moved up to Aguirre, and she dumps it in. And the Caribbean team getting a full change going. Meanwhile, moving up with speed is Layla Trepanier. She's able to dump it in. Salem after it, along with Perez. Caribbean looking to work up and out. And it's Francesca Gambino. Stepped over the line, takes a shot that's blocked. On the other side, another shot by Connolly. Gets through and Dowd forced to make another save. Under 5 to go in period 1. Still a 1-0 lead for the Caribbean side. Had the better of the play so far. Off this face-off. Trepanier goes up the boards. Kept alive at the line. Now poked at, and Hafiz is out of the zone. Hafiz trying to step around a Caribbean defender. Had it knocked off her stick. Hafiz knocked to the ice by Chase Ruddy. They go off the boards all the way down. That will be an icing against the Caribbean. They shot it all the way down from their own side of center. They will not be able to change, and Lebanon will get the offensive zone face-off. Chance with their top players on the ice, Hafiz and Yamin, along with Bearcat Redsel, the third on that forward line for Lebanon. Yamin quickly on goal. That one steered away by Rogers. Yamin steps her way in, makes a move to the outside, has to catch back up to the puck in the corner. Slid it up the wall, shot on goal, goes just past the cage. That drive also missed the target. Abrajian able to get it back deep. Hafiz was tied up with Danielson. Hustling in, Layla Trepanier. Danielson back on it. Off the boards. Good pinch again by Abrajian. That keeps the pressure alive. Lebanon starting to make a change here with the puck deep in Caribbean territory. Abrajian, another great pinch. Daniel in hard on the forecheck, working on Ruddy. Now a steal off the side of the cage. Daniel back on it again behind the net, trying to stuff it. And finally covered up by Rogers. And the first real pressure of the game for Lebanon. Good shift there from their top guns. And it continued as they started to make the change. They now have Megan Vetrano's line out there. Off the draw, Amelia Leonard looks to escape the zone for Caribbean, and she does. Leonard still flying up with it on the left wing side. All the way around the net. Leonard throws on the brakes. Took a bump. Leonard back on it with some space. Takes the shot from the outside, knocked down by Dowd and poked over to the corner. Sarah Trepanier able to move it up to Anna Daniel. Daniel stymied right at the blue line. Back the other way comes Caribbean on the counter. Charlton dangles. Had it poked away by Aya Salem. Burke on it. Charlton spinning, comes out in front, tried to tuck it, and Dow got the pad down. Caribbean have to chase back to their own end after the missed pass. And it's Marina McCann. Played her college hockey at SUNY Plattsburgh and should be going back in the fall as expected. Augusta Miley just fires that one up and down. There's another icing against the Caribbean. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the first period. And maybe another chance for Lebanon to get the forecheck going, get the cycle game going, and get this score tied. They had to weather a storm near the beginning. The Caribbean was all over them. Did give up a goal. They're still right in this game. Said here comes the Caribbean. Wozniak fires it right in on Dowd. Sticks it over to the near side. Layla Trepanier able to step around a couple. Had stolen by Aguirre. Loose puck. Pops up in the air. Couple players go after it. Now it's turned on by Demand. Man trying to poke her way by, tried to get back to it, and couldn't. Up come the Lebanese. Caribbean takes back over. McCann gets the red line off to the right wing side. That didn't work. Yamin has some help joining her, and now she'll move in by herself. Yamin, little toe drag, has to chase back after it behind the net. Attempt from the outside, didn't get all the way through. That's tossed directly out of play by Augusta Miley. It's like no delay of game penalty. That is not a rule in this tournament. Typically in hockey, when you throw a puck directly out of play without it hitting the glass or any other player or the post, that one sent over top of the net. If you send it directly out of play without it hitting anything else on the way, that's usually from your defensive zone. That's usually a delay of game penalty, but not here in the Dream Nations. Darwish back for it in the corner. She's tied up now with Remchiran. Lebanon has some help. Caribbean getting some help off the bench, and that rush causes some issues. Forecheck causes a turnover. Here's a shot up off a stick, And it drops in the near side corner. That was Ramcharan who got it off. Now a try from the point, gloved and held by Dowd. As Chase Ruddy tried to send it through. And Ruddy, another NCAA Division I player. She's played the last 2 years at Sacred Heart University. 2 points in 7 games at last year's Dream Nations. Ruddy still looking for her first point of this year's tournament. That one rises over top of the cage. 5 seconds left. And it goes behind the net, and that will do it. 15 minutes down. Caitlin Charlton, the only goal scorer so far, 1-0 for the Caribbean. They're out shooting Lebanon 11-3. Up to this point, we will take a quick break and come right back with more of the Dream Nations Cup. Back here at the Dream Nations Cup. Looks like we have fans of all kinds here at the rink at the American Dream Mall. Taking in this game between Lebanon and the Caribbean. It's 1-0 in favor of the Caribbean side as we get back underway for period 2. Caitlin Charlton, the only goal scorer so far. Eunice able to push it around. Eunice keeps it on moving. Backhanded only as far as the point, but kept deep by Wilson. Comes to the line, not out. And now Salem able to skate it out. Dennis Salem entered the offensive zone, but offside at the line. Well, Lebanon will get the face-off right in front of their bench, send out their top unit. Forced into the offensive zone. Spinning away is McCann. And Brajian tied up with a couple of Caribbean players. Charlton gets it back to Augusta Miley. Here goes hard off the glass. Bearcat Redsill, as she touched the puck. He got the whistle, and a penalty is coming up against Lebanon. Elizabeth Abrajian heading to the box for high sticking. 2 minutes up on the board in the Caribbean. And second power play of the game, and another chance to extend this lead. Lebanon off this face off. Trying to toss it out. Great job by Augusta Miley. Block it down with the glove. Puck stays alive, and Augusta Miley with another good play to get it deep. Wozniak in hard on the forecheck. Burke also digging away. Sent to the line. Augusta Miley through traffic. That one deflected by Burke off the outside of the cage. Another shot came through traffic and just missed the target. Comes up to the point once more. Charlton fed it off. Augusta Miley again sent it through. She seems to be the trigger on this power play. Charlton this time lets it go, and Dowd makes the save and hangs on. Puck in her blocker. Jasmine Augusta Miley, a 30-year-old from Queens, New York, represented Puerto Rico in the LATAM Cup back in 2022. And seemed to be the trigger again on that power play unit. Caribbean has switched things up. Augusta Miley, one of those former professional players that you see sometimes out here. She has played professionally in Finland and France during her career. Perez couldn't get up with it, and it's dumped back deep by Vetrano. She heads off for a change. 40 seconds left on the Caribbean power play. Demand weaves her way through center. Demand in with speed, splits the D, she scores! Emma Demand, end-to-end power play goal, doubles the Caribbean lead. All the way back in her own end, Demand able to start building speed. By the time she got to Lebanon's end, just split right through the defenders. That's a highlight reel goal. 20-year-old who's played for Stevenson University, NCAA Division III hockey. As there is conversation going on at the Lebanon bench with the officials. Now we'll get back underway. Caribbean a 2-0 lead. Face-off taken. Caribbean quickly back in. Try and float it across, and a save by Dowd on Remcharan. It's working down the backside. Puck shot from the point. That was blocked on the way through. Wilson able to fire right back around. A couple players come together on top of that puck. It's won by Remcharan all the way around the cage and up high. Wilson down to Remcharan. Looks to turn the corner. Comes to the line. Leonard steps in. Her shot knocked down. And it's cleared out of the zone. Won't have the legs for icing. But Wilson has to flag it down in her own end. Watched by Daniel. This one taken away by a player right off the Lebanese bench. Lebanon unable to take advantage though, as Sarah Trepanier couldn't get up to that loose puck. Sent around to the far side. Daniel and Connolly come together. Connolly couldn't get it back deeper. Daniel able to chip it past the defender at the point. And Daniel is taken down. Interference the call. And Augusta Miley doesn't like it. She'll be heading to the penalty box in Lebanon to its first power play of this game. A chance for the Lebanese to get on the board. You can't hit a player who doesn't have the puck, and after Daniel chipped it by, can't really put the body into her at that point, so that's the reason for the penalty. Hafiz working on the half wall, steps out, sent it on goal. Stick save by Rogers. Hafiz back on it. Popped away from her. Moved around to the near side. Ruddy takes a look and fires it all the way down. Layla Trepanier, watched by Charlton. Handoff is for Hafiz, and she'll start the rush up the left wing side. Hafiz keeps on chugging in the offensive zone, gets back to the puck, and she couldn't find the target on the short side, trying to go over the blocker of Rogers. Wozniak finds that puck and clears. Layla Trepanier. Long lead pass up the boards. Trying to find Yamin. A couple players battle for it. And now it's Demand. Working short-handed. Stopped up at the red line by Name. Wozniak finds the puck, sends it right in off of Emma Name. Salem able to chip it in. Perez around, one-time clearing attempt is successful for the Caribbean. 30 seconds left on the Lebanon power play. They chip it by. Here comes Salem. Tried to sweep it to the middle of the ice. Nobody home. And now Caribbean working back up short-handed. It's Demand. On goal, Dowd the save. And she will cover up for a whistle and a face-off with 9 seconds left on the Lebanon power play that will more than likely go unsuccessful. Off this face-off, one back by Vetrano. It's Eunice, hard off the boards. Couldn't find Daniel though. Caribbean keeps it in, shot towards the net. Stick saved by Dowd. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Successful penalty kill for Caribbean side. Couple stick kills, backhand shot save, Dowd! It slipped through! And right after killing the penalty, Kiana Danielson gets her first of the tournament to make it 3-0. Another collegiate hockey player in Danielson from British Columbia, plays Canadian collegiate hockey at Ontario Tech University. That is the U Sports level. A big goal for the Caribbean after killing off that penalty, extending the lead to 3. Yamin steps up into the offensive zone, drops it. Thought about dropping it for Yafiz. Instead, it's down in the corner and bumped around to the far side. Gotten back deep, Leonard. Gambino sends it in, sticked away by Dowd. Layla Trepanier played it off the back of the cage, stolen by the Caribbean, but unable to make a play on it. There was Connolly. Bearcat Redsel at the red line. Couldn't push it deep. Couple players got tangled up. And another penalty coming up against the Caribbean. Another interference call. This time heading to the box is Chase Ruddy. Another chance on the power play for Lebanon. Their second advantage of this game. Sent up to the point. Trepanier fires and it's blocked. Good block by Jada Burke. Trepanier again, lets it go again, and this time finds the end wall. Charlton couldn't chip it by name on the first attempt. Caribbean does get it out of the zone. Brought right back in. Perez, now Burke trying to clear, hit the referee. Burke this time though gets to it and goes all the way down. Name trying to push her way through. Comes back to Salem. There's Salem walking in. Her shot blocked Rebound comes all the way back to Name at the line. She couldn't get it back deep though. They're being cleared. We approach a minute left to go on this second Lebanon power play of the game. Burke with a steal. Gives it off. Charlton a shot. And it's fought off. Dowd making the blocker save. Charlton. One hands it up to the point. A spin move there from McCann. Lets it go, and that one is blocked on the way through by Name. Caribbean trying to get things going shorthanded. Here comes Yamin. Flying up the right wing side. Knocked off a stick. Yamin back to it, and she whipped that one high. Yamin finds it again in the neutral zone. Has to wait for her team to get onside. She does. Long range try punched out by Rogers. Augusta Miley off the glass. And a hand pass called against Lebanon. So the faceoff will be outside Caribbean end with 7 seconds left on this Lebanon power play. Brittany Yamin was bidding for her second of the tournament, had a good opportunity. Just whipped it over top of the cage. Caribbean back to full strength, and now they get a steal. The man tried to send it out in front, couldn't do it. Came back to her. Up to the point to Leonard. Off the boards. Ramcharan looks down low. That one didn't connect. Lebanon the other way. Pass across towards Daniel, was too far in front of her. Ramcharan swoops back for it. And it's Demand on it. Enters the offensive zone, drops it off. Back to Demand. And she couldn't get that shot away. Couldn't get a touch on that puck. Played on the near side half wall. Few players battling for it. Caribbean getting a change in as well. Meanwhile, it's Lebanon. That pass taken away. Now Ramcharan's in. Has a look, and her shot off a stick and wide. Ramcharan quickly back on that puck. Centering feed, one-timer goes wide. Off the stick of Olympia Myers. Now Danielson, her shot blocker saved by Dowd. Caribbean with all kinds of pressure. Danielson again, this time his soft backhander is scooped up by Dowd, and she will hang on and give Lebanon a chance to breathe with 4:32 left in period 2. Caribbean up 3-0, out shooting Lebanon 20-5 up to this point. Off this draw, it's poked along. Going down was the Caribbean defender, Alice Perez, and that draws a penalty. Lebanon looked like they were going to move up 2-on-1, but Hafiz tripped up Perez, and that draws the call. So Caribbean, their third power play of the game, 1 for 2 so far. Burke wins the faceoff back. Leonard at the line. Fed it across to Ruddy. Ruddy walks the blue line. Down to the near side. Get back across towards Ruddy. Got past her. Now Ruddy down towards Wozniak. Now Leonard. Near side half wall. Charlton had to poke it back to Leonard. Tried to put it quickly on net. That didn't work. Darwish sends Bearcat Redsole out with it. Now Caribbean collapsed on her quickly. Burke steps in. Her shot ripped just wide. Now a rep chance. It's underneath Dowd. And it wouldn't go. Wozniak tried to catch Dowd unaware of where the puck was. She was looking around for it. Tried a quick wrap chance, but ended up underneath the netminder Megan Dowd. And it stays 3-0, minute 18 left to go on the penalty to Anya Hafiz. Off this face-off, it's pulled out. Augusta Miley sets back up for the Caribbean. Nice step up top. Two Lebanese players collapsing on Remcheren, and she got back deep. Lebanon trying to clear, and it's kept in. That shot got through, and Dowd able to hang on as Augusta Miley sent it through. Caribbean power play with all kinds of pressure, trying to score their fourth goal of the game. Augusta Miley trying to send that one down low off a couple of sticks and settles in the corner. McQuarrie up top. Augusta Miley unloads and sent it wide. McQuarrie back after it. That poked off her stick by Vitrino and sent out of the zone. 25 seconds left on the Caribbean power play. Fired over to the far side into the Lebanon zone. Abrajian looking to work up that puck. Stuck along the half wall. Augusta Miley on net, scooped up by Dowd. And she'll hang on. Final 2 seconds ticking off the penalty to Hafiz. And if Lebanon times it right with a face-off win, could send their captain in on a breakaway all alone if Caribbean are watchful. They don't win the face-off though, so Hafiz has to come back and defend now she's out of the box. On the near side half wall. Now worked behind the net. Centering feed, only found the stick of Yamin. And now she'll move up. Plenty of Caribbeans back. Bearcat Redsul takes a look down towards Hafiz and pushed it on net. Rogers able to make the save. Hafiz turns the corner, and that one floated wide. Hafiz and Wilson after it. They cancel each other out with a hard collision. Four players involved in this scrum. Finally, Hafiz comes out with it. This one sent off the glass. Myers able to push it out of the zone. Eunice hustling back to collect that puck. Caribbean making changes over by their bench. Meanwhile, Eunice comes over to this side. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Players battling for it on the near side wall, or it's finally launched out and down towards the Caribbean end as we hit the final minute of period number 2. 3-0 lead for the Caribbean. Burke able to backhand this one all the way up, and now it's Wozniak skating into it. Her shot is stopped by Dowd, popped back out in front, and Dowd able to bat it away. One-time blast, kick save, Dowd, she has the rebound too, puck still loose, Wozniak a pass, that shot blocked, and Dowd able to grab it with the glove finally and get the whistle. 25.8 left to go in period number 2. Lebanon trying to get out of this period with just a 3-goal deficit. Off this face-off, one back of the Caribbean. That shot off the back glass from the stick of Ruddy. Tied up on the near side boards, pulled out. Charlton gets to the slot, slips that one wide along the ice. 5 seconds left. Charlton one last shot, it's blocked. Charlton had it hop over her stick, and that will do it for period number 2. And for the first time on day 2, We will not have running time heading into the third, as Caribbean leads Lebanon 3-0. Of course, we learned last night Lebanon is a third period team. Can they pull some magic out today as they did last night? We will find out coming up next. Keep it locked in here on the Dream Nations Cup. Getting set for period number 3 between Lebanon and the Caribbean in this women's round-robin game. Caribbean with a 3-0 lead on the strength of goals from Caitlin Charlton, Emma DeMann, and Kiana Danielson as we continue play. Caribbean trying to go for their second win in as many tries. Lebanon has one tie on their record. They did it by coming back from a 4-goal third-period deficit against Egypt last night, as that one comes in deflected and covered up by Dowd. And that comeback started with about 6 or 7 minutes left in the third period. So certainly don't count Lebanon out at any point in this game. They scored the game-tying goal with 9.3 seconds left. This so far today has been our closest game between 2 men's Division II games and 1 women's division game. Still to come, this one a hand pass. This game the halfway point. Once this one is over, we'll be halfway done with day number 2 of the Dream Nations Cup tournament. Still to come after this, 1 more women's game and then 3 men's Division I games. You can find all of these games on the Dream Nations Cup YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe there for all of the live game broadcasts and much more content from the second annual tournament. We can now call it an annual tournament because this is number 2. Lebanon trying to push it out. That doesn't work. Connolly to the net. She scores! Justine Connolly found a hole somewhere on Dowd. She's able to put it home and make it a 4-0 game for Team Caribbean. A 16-year-old Connolly gets her first goal of this tournament. This is where Lebanon's comfortable, right? Down 4-0 as we saw last night. We'll see if they can start them out the comeback. Name couldn't move it up. It's kept in. Name this time able to get it up. They lead it on. chasing after it, and shot gloved and held by Rogers. As Sabaliauskis got loose behind the defense. Good job by Lebanon to spring in. That's their best chance so far of this game. Rogers able to handle it, and it stays 4-0. Pushed out to the neutral zone. Name had that one knocked down and taken back by Charlton. Rushing the net. Charlton passed out in front, and unable to get a touch on it was Wozniak. Charlton again. Works up high, drops it off on the half wall. Leonard on goal. That one came all the way through to the near side. Wilson up at the point. Off the far corner boards. Burke hustling after it. Wins the race. Burke down the wall. Wozniak centering feed. And that one knocked away by Sabaliauskis. Lebanon able to work it out, but it's dumped right back in. Good play by Wilson. Cut off the pass and get it right back deep in the offensive zone. Eunice had her stick lifted. Pulled out in front on the backhand, saved Dowd. Keeping Charlton from picking up her second goal of this game. Well, you do have some assists to update you on. That last goal for Connolly. Give the assist to Jasmine Augusta Miley. Connolly now with a goal and a helper in this game so far. She also assisted on Kiana Danielson's goal. Here's Lebanon looking for an answer. Comes out in front. Yamin, a shot. Fought off by Rogers, who just got a piece. Pass out in front. Taken away by Remchiran. Yamin tried to give it out. Trepanier towards the net. That one drops near behind the cage. McCann marks up the left wing side. Throws on the brakes. Now McCann sends a pass up. Ends up in the Lebanon end. Lebanon just trying to throw on some stretch passes here. They are desperate for a goal. We approach 11.5 minutes left to go in the third period, trailing by 4. Layla Trepanier got it across, but wasn't a clean pass. Caribbean looking to take advantage of it, and the shot rises over top of the cage from Myers. Daniel couldn't push her way through. Pops out to the middle of the ice. Touched up to Gambino. As Danielson gives it there. Danielson back to Gambino. Couldn't bring it in. Now Danielson again trying to turn the corner. Gets up top. Danielson couldn't hand it off as Ruddy retreats back to the neutral zone. Pass off to the near side. Moved along Gambino for Danielson. Gotten down deep. Darwish around to the far side. Eunice hustles after it. Caribbean with 2 players in on the forecheck caused a turnover, but the centering pass was in Gambino's skates. And now Yamin starting a rush the other way on the right wing side. Yamin drops the shoulder, couldn't get to the net. Good play by Wilson to knock the puck off her stick. Hafiz comes in for it. Caribbean able to clear the zone. Hafiz looks to fly right back in. On the outside. Hafiz drops it off. Layla Trepanier looking for a shooting lane. Couldn't find one as the Caribbean defenders collapsed in. Now Charlton with a step. Works in. And she's stopped by Dowd. Name able to poke it back away from Charlton. who's been high flying in this one. Came into this game with 2 goals and an assist after the win over Netherlands yesterday. And Charlton with a goal so far in this one. Rogers plays it around. Sent all the way down, nice into the Lebanon end. Layla Trepanier had it taken away. It's aggressive forecheck by the Caribbean, causing a lot of trouble for Lebanon all game long. That shot by Augusta Miley was blocked on the way through, and now Lebanon a 2-on-1. Vetrano has help. Vetrano takes the shot off of Rogers' glove. Comes out, Bearcat. Redsel let it go. And Rogers able to reset and make the save. Augusta Miley up the glass all the way around, just kept in by the reach of Abrajian. Now Caribbean able to work out. Wozniak has some space and help. Wozniak shot saved out, and she recollects it. Hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. Dowd's been good on her end. How about Juliana Rogers down on the other end? Hasn't been too busy, but has made a few good saves here in the third, including on that last opportunity. Rogers, playing NCAA Division III hockey at Alvernia University, did represent Team Caribbean at last year's Dream Nations. Went home with a silver, hoping to go home with a gold this year. Ruddy back for it in her own end. Throws on the brakes behind the net. Ruddy feeds it off. Pass goes to the far side, poked along. Here's Gambino along the crease, couldn't get it to go. And then it's poked wide by Demand. Demand trying to bank it in, and I think she did. Dowd trying to squeeze the post, couldn't do it. And Emma Demand has her second of the game and the 5th one for the Caribbean. And that one should trigger our running clock for the rest of this third period. And indeed it does. So we have now had a running clock for every single game so far on day 2. As Connolly had it poked away. Ruddy tried a quick up, that didn't work. Chasing back after it is Perez. Lebanon takes over. Brajian in deep. And now Caribbean trying to work out. May have a penalty coming up here. Indeed we do. A tripping call has been signaled. So Lebanon to the power play with under 7 minutes to go here in the third. And if Lebanon can score, they can stop the running clock. They'll have to line up quickly here. Yamin and Along, Wozniak, pardon me, set to take the face off. Up at the line, Name sent it through. One goes wide. Sent all the way back down, and Name, after it, scoops it up. Name starts to work. Off for Yamin. Into the offensive zone. Yamin takes the shot. Stopped by Rogers. Had to get back on top of the rebound. And she will to get the whistle. Off this face off. Caribbean able to clear quickly. Up comes Lebanon. Vetrano cuts in, takes a look, her shot blocked on the way through. Caribbean clears again. Minute 6 left on the power play. Name works up, gets her way in. Name tried to hand it off. Said her back pass goes right to the Caribbean. And Hafiz able to get her stick in the way of that clearing attempt. Turn right back in. Hafiz had her shot blocked. Demand gets to it. Out of the zone. 35 seconds left on the power play for Lebanon. Yamin steps over the line. Her shot whistles wide. Bearcat Redso picks it up on the other side. Now it's Abrajian. She ran into a Caribbean player, and Dowd forced to jump on top of it to cover up. We will continue here as the shot from the point blocked, and hustling back is McCann. They keep Lebanon from getting an opportunity. Back to 5-on-5 as the penalty has expired. Aguirre moves it up to Mann, working on Eunice on the right wing side. Demand tried a centering pass, that didn't work. Aguirre backing it up, down low. Demand, save, rebound, she scores! And the hat trick for Emma Demand. Second straight game with a hat trick for her. And Dowd, frustrated, slams her stick on the boards. All Caribbean here. They're up 7-0 now. Aguirre works in, off to the outside. Moved all the way around the net, and now up top, McCann lets it go and sent it wide. Demand already with 3 in the game. Down around behind the cage. Name able to take over. Name tried to move it up and out, couldn't do it. Aguirre gave it off. And a good defensive play by Lebanon. Still can't get it out though. Here's Remcharan by herself, waits for help, drops it up. Danielson shot scooped up by Dowd. Well, the face-off to Dowd's left. We approach 2.5 left to go in this one. And Caribbean will equal Puerto Rico at the top of the women's division here at the Dream Nations. They will both have 4 points heading into tomorrow. They do not play each other in group play. There are 6 teams, just 3 games apiece. So 2 teams are to be played against, as Dowd makes the save and the rebound put home by Justine Connolly. But every team in the women's division only plays 3 of the other 5. And Caribbean does not play against Puerto Rico. Lebanon does. Justine Connolly, by the way, 2 goals and an assist now in this game. Caribbean will take on South Korea tomorrow. That will be the first first game, on the final day of round robin play here at the Dream Nations. Caribbean and South Korea. Meanwhile, Lebanon gets Puerto Rico. Will be searching for its first win and may have its tournament hopes on the line, depending on how the other games finish today. Be an important day number 3 in the women's division. Again, 4 of the 6 teams in the women's division make it out of the round robin stage to the tournament stage. Burke on her backhand, got it down deep, in tight try, stopped by Dow. She has it underneath, and she'll hang on for a whistle and likely our last face-off of the game. So Lebanon shut out today after the 4-goal third period. Got things tied with Egypt yesterday, as Juliana Rogers finishes with the shutout. She has given up 1 goal through 2 games in this tournament. And Team Caribbean is 2-0 after a dominant victory over Team Lebanon. Looks like the player of the game will be Emma DeMann after her hat trick. Justine Connolly also had a great game for Caribbean, 2 goals and an assist. Yet another lopsided score here on day 2 of the Dream Nations. Now we get a tight one. Next, Egypt and South Korea. A final women's game of this day number 2. That one dropping the puck just about 40 minutes from now, 3:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have it for you on the Dream Nations YouTube channel. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Will Wiggleman. Caribbean with a resounding win, and they have a chance to stick at the top of the group tomorrow. We will see how the rest of the women's division shakes out. Have a great rest of your day if you're not tuning in for another game, but if you are, again, Egypt and South Korea is coming up shortly. And if you're interested in Caribbean hockey, well, they've gone 2-0, 2 shutouts, the men's team and the women's team. Exciting day for them. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next time from the Dream Nations Cup.